Greetings and well met. Welcome to Stories by the Fireside. I'm your host and narrator, Hailstorm, and today I have an update for you. Last time when I made a video, it was about my life and what was going on at the moment, and since then I have been more than a bit silent, which I want to apologize for first and foremost. I'm sorry to leave you hanging like that. But you see, my life has taken a complete 180 turn, so I needed time to get on top of that, to really put my thoughts back together and figure out just what is going on at the moment. I spoke about my early retirement and that I was seeking early retirement, hoping for early retirement. And I can now tell you that I do indeed have early retirement status. I am officially a retiree. I cannot tell you how big of a change that is and how big of a relief it is. I have been fighting on and off with the system for just about 10 years. Not fighting with the system itself. I've been fighting with myself, and I've been fighting to be successful in anything at all, from jobs and education, and just trying to make a living, trying to be something in society and to be someone, to be independent, and to be self-sufficient, to have a job. But I have been unable to, completely, for about 6 months each time. It goes great, I know what I'm doing, I can do this. And I push myself, and I push myself too hard. And I burn out completely. And I end up with depression and failure again and again and again. And now, as a retiree, I no longer have to worry about that. I no longer have to worry for a moment about any of that. I am currently completely untouchable by that part of the system. I can no longer be pulled into trial work or education education trials. I'm not sure how to translate most of the terms, but there's a lot of things that I'm suddenly exempt from. They can no longer pull me into these extremely long and complicated things. All of these very long and complicated ordeals, they can no longer pull me into that. I am no longer obligated for any of that. I can live my life now. I am free to do as I wish. It is an extremely surreal feeling, I can tell you that much. And I'm still not entirely sure what to do with myself all of a sudden. I'm getting my first payout next month, or rather on the last day of this month. But it is an extremely surreal feeling, because all of a sudden I feel extremely aimless. Like I don't know what to do with myself. And at the same time, I am just waiting for the other shoe to drop. When does the consequence happen? When is it going to end? What's going to happen next? Who is going to come for me and say, "Oh, psych, it was just a joke. It was just a prank, bro. Come with us, you're going back to the education system." I'm waiting for that. And it's never going to happen. I know it won't happen. I can choose as I wish. I can use my time as I wish. I can have horrible days and not feel completely guilty about it. Do you have any idea how great of a relief that is? To be able to feel like cat vomit and be fine with it. That I can wake up and I can feel horrible, absolutely despicably horrible. Everything is just annoying. Hormones are running rampant. I don't want people to touch me, to even look at me. And just a thought of talking with anyone is making my head spin. And now I can be okay with that. I can say this is okay. I no longer have to feel shame or guilt, or have that nagging little voice at the back of my head telling me, oh, you just need to pull yourself together. You just need to pull yourself together, Hailstorm. That's all you need to do. Everybody else can do it. Why can't you? That is the little voice. Always. And now it can shut up. It can absolutely shut up. Because not only do I have the time to simply exist now, when everything is just wrong, I also have the finances to do so. I no longer just have to survive on the meager givings of welfare checks. I am now living on a pension, on a retirement pension, and I'm getting a lot of money more. Well, in comparison to what I already have, I'm getting quite a bit more. So now I no longer have to feel any guilt for getting groceries delivered to my door, or order takeout. Something as simple as ordering takeout on the bad days so I get something to eat. I no longer have to feel guilt for, when I'm grocery shopping, that I'm buying 5 frozen pizzas or something like that, so I have something in my freezer. Because I feel guilt about it. I have always felt guilt about buying too much. Because what if I need the money later? What if something breaks and I need to replace it? I need to have the money so I can spend it on that. What if some of my clothes suddenly break? Or my shoes? Or my phone? Or my computer? Or my headphones? Or anything like that? What if it breaks? Then I need to have that money that I was going to use for food. I need to have that so I can replace all these things that I have, that I use every day. Now, I no longer have to feel guilt about it. I no longer have to feel shame. I no longer have to put back beautiful dresses or shirts or pants when I'm out. When I'm out shopping, when I'm just feeling like heading downtown and going to a clothing store, and I can walk in and I can look at trousers and shirts and dresses, and I can pick some and I can buy it. I can buy it. I can just buy it all of a sudden. Or at least I can contemplate, oh, I can actually afford this. Maybe I can wait till next month. Just that. Instead of having to save up money month after month after month just to buy a pair of shoes that won't break when I look at them funny. Because being poor is extremely expensive. It's very expensive. You buy cheap things because they're cheap so you can have money for more things and more food. But the cheap things are not very durable. The quality is horrible. They break when there's a slight breeze. So it's very, very expensive to be poor. And now it feels like I've won the lottery. Not a huge amount, but a big enough amount that it's going to change my life. And that's great. That is great. I can buy things for myself that I like just because I like them. I can even contemplate moving. Not that I don't mind where I live. I live in a wonderful apartment. It's kind of small, but it is wonderfully central, and the rent is very cheap, because the apartment in and of itself hasn't been renovated in the last 50 years or something, at least not in my lifetime. So it's an old apartment, and it leaks heat, mostly. It hasn't leaked any water, at least, so that's nice. But it leaks heat, so it is kind of expensive in the winter, and it is remarkably difficult to cool down in the summer as well. It's not particularly well insulated, but it's old, and it has charm, it has character, and it has absolutely wonderful location. I am living extremely central, and I have some good neighbors as well. But the walls are also paper thin, so I can hear a lot of things going on in my apartment building. I would very, very, very much prefer to live out in the countryside again. I used to, and I miss it. I want to live out in the middle of nowhere again. But that's going to happen in a couple of years, I think. I need to get used to this idea of having more money and being able to do things, being able to save up for God's sakes, I have money to save up for vacation trips. Vacation trips! I can travel! All I damn well want to. I no longer have to ask permission from anybody to travel. I had to do that before while being in the system. They needed to know where I was 24/7, more or less. Now I can travel as long as I have my passport. I can just pick up my bags and go. As long as I have my passport, and as long as I have money, I can just pick up my bags and go. I can go traveling to different places that I've always wanted to visit. For instance, I really want to visit Scotland, and I want to visit Ireland and Wales. I want to go on a complete trip from London all the way up to the very northern tip of Scotland. And then I want to go to Ireland afterwards, and I want to end it in Wales, and then home. I want to go on a whole round trip on the British Isles. I also want to visit Iceland, and I want to visit the most northern part of Norway, and I want to visit Finland, and I want to visit Germany, and I want to visit Poland. I want to visit places. I want to travel. I want to see things that I wouldn't normally be able to see. I want to visualize some of my childhood dreams of seeing things in the world. Because I grew up poor. I did. Poor of money, at least. But not poor of heart. I have a wonderful family. And I have a wonderful mother. And it's thanks to them that I'm here now, today, retired. Without them, I'm pretty sure that financially I would have been destitute in the end. They have supported me with money, they have supported me with material, they have supported me with food, they've supported me emotionally as well. Without them, I wouldn't be here. So for once, within the last decade, more or less, it's finally looking up. My luck is finally looking up. And I can't believe it. I can't. I am in complete disbelief. I am aimless and I have no idea what to do with myself. I will be able to do the things I want to do just because I feel like doing them. That's it. That's it. I will be able to do them. I thought I would never end here, where I would be able to have a stable life and be happy and do the things that I wanted to do. I never thought that I would finally end here after all those failures, after all those nicks and knocks I've been taking over the years, on and off, the whole roller coaster of up and down over the years. I never thought I would finally end up on stable ground. But here we are. This is a dream come true. And I know because I have had a lot of dreams. I have had so many dreams that I've had to give up on over the years. So many dreams. Because of all the failure that has accompanied them, that I haven't been able to finish school or work or anything of the sort, because I burned myself out. I am simply incapable of doing it. I can work under pressure for a while, but at some point or another, I just can't do it anymore. And now, this dream of being able to do as I please, to live as I want to, it's come true. Dreams can come true if you work for them. And gods know that I have been working for this dream. I have been doing so many things over the past 10 years. I have tried several different types of education and never finished any. I have tried again and again to do work. I have even tried something as simple as doing just a couple of hours a week. 3 days a week, 2 hours a day or something of the sort. Very, very little. I tried that for a month and I couldn't finish it. I couldn't. And it was horrible because I wanted to. I wanted to so badly. I wanted to. I had the determination and the will and the want. And my body and my mind just did not want. Or couldn't. I don't know what went wrong. But in the end, I couldn't get up in the morning. I couldn't think of a reason to get up in the morning. I wanted to so badly for this to work. But I was driving myself into the ground again and again. And every time, for the longest time, every time it happened, all I was thinking of, you're stupid. You should just pull yourself together. You should just do this. Everybody else can do it. Why can't you? Just do it. You're meant to do this. You should be doing this. You can do this. Of course you can do this. Everybody else can do this. Why can't you? I felt such an intense shame and guilt over this. That I should be able to do this like everybody else. And I just couldn't. I have suffered head-splitting headaches and migraines because of it, stress migraines. I have suffered debilitating depression because of it. I have even been close to killing myself on one point because I was under so much stress and pressure to perform because of me. Because I should be able to do this like everybody else. So I was imitating everybody else to do exactly as they were doing. And I just couldn't. So I burnt myself out before I even began. And now it's over. It's over. I can do as I please. I no longer have to pressure myself because there's no longer a responsibility to pressure myself to. There's no longer a standard that I have to live up to. There's no longer an example that I need to imitate. The only responsibility I have is for myself now, not someone else. I no longer have expectations I have to meet. I can be me. Me. For the first time in 10 years, maybe more. Oh Christ, I'm pretty sure it was more. Even during my school years, the early school years, ever since I stopped in kindergarten, I have been under pressure to perform. I have been under pressure to learn as fast as possible, to be as good and talented and gifted as possible, and to grow up and to be mature as quickly as possible, to imitate all of the people around me, to imitate all of the children around me, to be exactly as them. And now it's over. I have been pressured and stressed for so long that I barely know what to do with myself now that it's over. So I'm most likely going to be quiet for a while. But hopefully I will be able to pick it up again. So if you don't see me for a couple of weeks, don't worry. I'm just recuperating. And I'll also be house sitting for about 2.5 weeks, beginning on Tuesday. So I will use that time as well to recuperate and think about myself for once. And take care of myself. And just exist in me. To be me. And to do something as childish as do childish things for a little while. Make some dreams come true for the little girl that was never allowed to have them. Or that's not entirely true. I was allowed to dream, of course. But not a whole lot of them came true. Not a whole lot of them came true. It feels like I've been forced into maturing too fast. Sometimes. And I've just had to adapt. But there's still a little girl in me that wants to do childish things and wants to get some of the shiny toys that she never had because they were too expensive. Now I can do that too if I want to. And some of the things that I do and that I encourage all of you listeners to do as well is sometimes buy yourself like a little secret box one of those surprise blind boxes or bags or whatever. Over here we have the infamous Kinder Egg with toys inside of them. So you have the chocolate eggshell, and inside you have a little plastic shell with a toy inside. Small, dumb plastic toy, often imitating, or often in the shape of something popular at the moment with kids. Right now it's Avatar. And find these little blind boxes and bags and Kinder Eggs. Buy one of them. And for just a moment, experience the wonder of a child who is looking at this blind box and wondering, what's inside? What could that be? What might it be? Ooh, it's exciting. It might be something cool. It might be like a rare thing. I wonder if anybody else has this. I wonder if anybody else who's sitting with this blind box is opening it at the same time as I am. And I wonder if they will be finding the same thing as I do. Will I be able to make a collection of this, maybe? Some things like that. It's a tiny thing, really. But your imagination will love you for it. And your inner child will love you for it as well. It's just a small slice of wonderment of that little child who grew up, or maybe haven't grown up, who just wants to enjoy that sense of wonderment of being able to imagine and use their imagination and be impressed by all of these little toys that they find, how intricate they can make them and how detailed, and all of the colors and shapes and the way it feels in their hands, and just sit and look at it and touch it and move it around and just play with it. For instance, at this point I have a whole collection of these. Whenever I could find the time, I would buy these Kinder Eggs that are a bit cheaper because they're not the brand. But the toys inside are wondrous. I have found tiny telescopes and kaleidoscopes and a teeny tiny diorama of an igloo and a dog sled. And I found teeny tiny planes and little birds and butterflies and frogs on wheels and tiny turtles and even tiny cars. And one of the things that blew me away as well that I found was this tiny drawing aid, if you will. It's like two circles shaped like gears, and in the small circle you put your pen, and then you move the circle around on the bigger circle, and then you give these wonderful geometric drawings. One of those was in one of those eggs. And I was blown away by it. I still am. I use it every so often, simply because it's so interesting that they could make something at this scale that is still usable, and it is. It makes some wonderful flower patterns, and it brings life to my wonderment. And I personally think that you should do it too. Next time you're at the grocery store, look for one of these little blind bags of something that you think you might enjoy. I know there are tons and tons of blind bags for all kinds of things. Lego and Minecraft, for instance, that I know are exceedingly popular with just about anybody. Even I want one of those Minecraft blind bags, or a couple of the Lego ones, because they're full of wonderment They're full of interesting things. So, I encourage you, next time you're at the grocery store, and if you have just a bit of pocket money on you, buy one of these things and feel that old wonderment of your inner child being allowed to stretch its legs a little bit and see things again. Look at the world through the eyes of a child, just for a little while. It's so healthy sometimes, and it might even bring you a little bit of happiness. Just a bit. And in this world, you find the happiness that you can, and you cling to it, and you enjoy it for as long as it lasts. Because sometimes they're very few and far in between. I should know. It's difficult sometimes. It really is, and it has been difficult for me over the years. But hopefully now, things will get better. And if they can get better for me, they can get better for you too. So don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. There's still hope out there. And sometimes, just sometimes, the universe can throw you a bone. And things will be okay in the end. They will. Things will be okay in the end. I remember someone once telling me that everything will be okay in the end. And if it's not okay, it's not the end. I don't remember who said it. I don't remember where I've heard it. But that's not what matters either. What matters is the words. Everything will be okay in the end, and if it's not okay, it's not the end. So keep going. Keep going. Just keep going. If you've come this far, you can walk a little longer. That's what I've been doing over the years. I've come that far and I just kept walking. Sometimes that's all you can do, but if you can do that, well, I'm proud of you, first and foremost. And I'm proud of you for reaching this point where you can listen to this. And hopefully, this will help you go a little bit further. Just a bit further. So, this has been quite a long update, but this is also taking up a large amount of space with me. And I'm sure a lot of you don't mind that I just keep talking. I do want to apologize if you can hear some background noise. My window is currently open because it's summer here. And I'm not particularly fond of the heat. So even though it's actually almost 1 a.m. at the moment, but people are still out and driving home, or to and from other places at the moment. So if you heard some background noise of cars outside my window, I apologize. I'm not going back and editing that out. Because first and foremost, I'm not good with editing, and second of all, for this particular thing, I'm just very lazy. So, it is what it is this time around. The quality is better when I read my things aloud. These are just my thoughts, so these are what they are. And this has been a very long update, as I said, but I'm sure a lot of you don't mind me talking forever. I'm sure a lot of you are very happy that for once you have something that is more than 20 minutes long. But I am happy for all of you. All of my subscribers and all the people who don't subscribe to me but still listen. thank you. And thank you for sticking with me for so long. I'm not particularly good at all this YouTube nonsense, if I'm honest. I just read things aloud when I feel the want to do so, and other times I make videos like this where I talk about my life or a topic or something of the sort. And perhaps at this point I should rename the channel to something else, like Occasional Thoughts by Hailstorm or something of the sort. I don't know. Well, maybe it's a bit too late for that, considering I say the channel name in every single one of my videos, so it would be a little bit confusing if I change it at this point. And now I'm just rambling. I'm just so damn relieved. I'm just so relieved. I really am. I am just very relieved, and I don't know what to do with myself. Oh boy. I'm just very happy. I really am. I don't know. I don't know where this is going to end. Or how it's going to end, for that matter. I really don't, but occasionally I think I'm going to update all of you about it, if only so I have something to talk about, so you at least get a dose of my voice, to those of you who have gotten quite attached to it. You know who you are. And I don't mind. It feels nice being appreciated. It does. And that's why I appreciate all of you. All of you. Thank you for being there, and thank you for listening. So I think here is where I'm going to say thank you for coming, and may you all have a pleasant day or night.